Coming up on DITV, a 2020 Democratic candidate stopped by Iowa City on Sunday night.
And later, a new show is heading to Hampshire, giving a few Iowa City residents the opportunity of a lifetime.
It is time to bring out the brooms, find out why in sports.
A mix of rain and warm temperatures on the horizon.
All that and more coming up on this Monday, April 1st edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere, DITV starts right now.
Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Noah Gowdy.
And I'm Susanna Closter. Iowa City received yet another visit from a 2020 presidential candidate over the weekend. John Delaney spoke at Merge Sunday evening as he tours to prepare for the upcoming election. Delaney was a Maryland representative from 2013 to 2019 and became the first Democrat to enter the 2020 presidential race when he announced his campaign in 2017. At the event Sunday, Delaney spoke about his goal to reunite the nation.
I want to be the person who can bring this terribly divided nation back together. I want to be the person who can actually start solving these problems and finding the common ground we know exists and making progress. I want to be the person that rethinks our future so that my kids, your grandkids maybe, hopefully one day my grandkids, my eldest daughter just got engaged, so that they have the future they deserve.
During his appearance, Delaney went over his views on different political issues, including problems with current American education.
Right, every kid should have something after high school as part of basic public education. And what I'm calling for is either 2 years of community college or career and technical training, which we should put on more of a level playing field. You know, last year, according to the U.S. military, 71% of high school graduates were not eligible for the military because of academic, social, or health deficiencies. That's 7 out of 10. Clearly, our kids need something after high school.
Delaney made sure to note that he is the first Democratic candidate to have visited all 99 counties throughout Iowa.
Iowa City residents will be happy to hear that construction at the Pedestrian Mall is nearing the end of its first phase. The current construction started almost a year ago and will end during April. Phase 2 of construction will make similar renovations to the Pedestrian Mall near College Street and is set to begin on May 13th. The city has announced a series of weekly meetings focused on Phase 2 that will take place at the Iowa City Public Library starting April 5th. The meetings will allow for businesses and property owners in the area to receive updates on the construction as it is underway. The city hopes to complete finishing renovations to the Pedestrian Mall by November. Well, Susanna, I'm kind of glad that Phase 1 is getting wrapped up here before summer.
Yeah, me too, Noah, but it's not feeling like summer this morning. Let's toss it over to Dylan in the weather studio to find out what's up in weather.
Thanks, Noah and Susanna. You guys are absolutely right. We got some chilly temperatures this morning, but it should warm up. As of right now, it's 41 degrees outside and partly cloudy skies. But the feels like temperature was all the way down to 34, so that wind chill definitely picked up. Now, as we move into tonight, the temperature stays relatively the same. Tonight, the temperature will be 44 degrees, but throughout the day, it should probably get to a high of around 56 degrees with some wind chill factored in, though. So it'll feel like roughly in the middle of the 40s all throughout the day. Now, as we move into the extended 5-day forecast for the week, as you can see today, we'll get up to a high of 56 degrees and we'll stay partly cloudy skies all throughout. Tomorrow morning, we will get some rain. We have a 50% chance of showers in the morning with our high staying at 56 and a low of 36 degrees bright and early tomorrow morning. Now, as we move into Wednesday, during the day, the rain should hold up a bit, but tomorrow night we have a 90% chance of showers and our high is around in the mid-50s there and a low in the low 40s. Thursday, the rain goes away. We have a high of 51 degrees and a low at around 40 degrees with cloudy skies all throughout. Finally, to wrap up our weeks, on Friday we have the warmest temperatures of the week. We get to a high of 64 degrees and a low of 45, but that 45 should be bright and early in the morning, so it will be very warm all throughout the day. As you can see, we also have partly cloudy skies on Friday, so it'll be a beautiful day on your Friday. Well, we have a nice week ahead, it looks like, after we get past those showers. Noah and Susanna, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Dylan. Local dancers of all ages headed to Hampshire Auditorium yesterday evening for a chance to perform on the stage with the pros. DITV Arts and Culture reporter Kaylin Cluck brings us an inside look at the special ballet auditions.
If you felt the ground shaking yesterday, it was probably coming from Hampshire Auditorium. This Saturday, American Ballet Theater is bringing their wonderful and whimsical show Whipped Cream to Iowa City. The production has toured all around the world, from the stages of Hong Kong to the New York Met, but the candy-themed spectacle always needs some local help to round out their cast. And for every new city that the Whipped Cream Ballet comes to, they invite local dancers to audition to join them on stage, which is why dancers big and small came to Hampshire on Sunday afternoon. Before the full production loads in later this week, a couple representatives from American Ballet Theater came to see auditions yesterday. Hopeful participants lined the Hampshire hallway for their shot at being in the ballet. And each auditioner brought their own level of experience.
Ballet, 3 years. Hip-hop and jazz, 1 or 2 years.
And first up was the child auditions to play Cupcakes. AVT ballet master Carlos Lopez taught the dancers a routine. But to be a whipped cream cupcake, one has to pitter-patter, march in time, and bounce just right.
Seven, I just want to look at your height one more time.
The other huge factor is height. As a touring production, Whipped Cream's costumes are already made with very specific sizing. So, while every dancer showed a spark, the girls who were just the right size were chosen for the roles.
I just really like ballet, and I like doing shows.
ABT also had to choose one of the children to portray the regal master of ceremony, and in the end, they found just the right dancer for the part. Later on were the adult auditions. They were to be cast as an array of characters, from snow yaks to a long-necked piggy to a candy cane worm. Similar to the children, the production looks for adults who are just the right sizes for the very unusual costumes.
And then a pole that comes up, and then a giant head comes down over of an old man. Okay. Yeah?
Everyone cast in Whipped Cream last night will be rehearsing for the rest of the week. It's all to prepare for the 2 performances next Saturday, when the production of Whipped Cream will sweeten up Iowa City. Reporting from Hampshire Auditorium, this is Kaylin Cluck, DITV.
University of Iowa researchers have developed a groundbreaking new treatment for cystic fibrosis. The study is being led by UI chemistry professor Martin Burke, along with a team of researchers from University of Illinois. The new treatment would act as a replacement for the proteins that patients with cystic fibrosis cannot produce naturally with their body. Burke recalled beginning his research over 20 years ago after a patient with cystic fibrosis motivated him, stating, quote, "I was explaining exactly what was wrong with my misfolded protein that her mutation was causing, and she stopped during the conversation and said, it sounds like exactly, you know what exactly is wrong, why can't you fix it?" End quote. The teams have yet to enter the clinical trials of the treatment, but the researchers feel very positive about the future of their work. Well, Noah, we have a big game in Carver tonight.
That is true. Women's basketball is back in action. Let's toss it over to Declan in the sports studio to find out more. Declan?
Thanks, guys. The game is not in Carver. It is in North Carolina, but we'll talk about that in a second. The Iowa women's basketball team knocked off NC State on Friday to advance to the Elite Eight. They'll take on #1 overall seed Baylor tonight in Greensboro, North Carolina, and the Hawks are ready for that challenge.
Obviously, we know Baylor is the heavy favorite, but hey, it's April Fool's Day tomorrow, right? So we're going to just go after it and do our best. Again, we know we have things stacked against us, but it only takes once. It only takes once, and maybe that once will be tomorrow. And I know my team won't back down to anybody.
We match up well against them. We know that they're obviously the overall #1 seed, but I'm really happy that we're in their bracket, and it's going to be a challenge, but I think we're all ready for it.
It's clear that Iowa knows what lies ahead of them facing Baylor today, but the Bears are getting some heat on Twitter for how they kind of seem annoyed at the press conference when asked how they'll match up against Megan Gustafson.
It's just going to be 2 great post players playing their game. Well, with my lack of mobility, maybe her trying to get around me will be the biggest issue. I'm just going to try to move my feet and stay with her. I mean, we're both lefties, so we'll see.
Kalani almost seems like tongue-in-cheek when she talks about her lack of mobility. How has she improved in that over the years?
Well, tell me who you with. Where are you from?
Excuse me?
Identify yourself.
David Newton, ESPN.com.
Well, David, you wrote that she plays small at times, I think. So she hasn't shrunk. She's still 6'7". I don't know what you mean by mobility. She's not a perimeter player. Gustafson's not a perimeter player. Kalani had to guard Anigwe, who averaged a double-double for Cal, who was on pace to have tons of double-doubles. So that kid's pretty athletic. Kalani guarded her, so I'm not sure where this mobility problem people keep bringing up comes from.
Even though Baylor's responses seemed a little heated at their press conference, Iowa still knows how much it would mean to get past the 14-point favorite and make it to the Final Four.
Just be awesome. Keep putting the University of Iowa on the map and showing people who we are and what we can do. Utmost respect for Baylor. They're an awesome, great team, but it'd be really cool to knock off the overall 1 seed. We all got our sights on it. We're all, focused on that game and ready to do that, but we're just going to go out there and play basketball the best that we know how and hopefully come out with a win. But yeah, it would obviously mean a lot. We want to keep going. We want to keep playing, and we want to get this team and our coaches to the Final Four.
It's every kid's dream to play in the Final Four, right? I mean, we are 40 minutes away from every kid's dream. If you're a basketball player, you want to play in the Final Four. I don't have to worry about them being hungry at this point.
Hawks and Bears are scheduled to tip tonight at 6 p.m. Please go out and watch that one. But now let's head for some action around the diamond. About a week removed from getting swept at Indiana, the Hawkeyes bounced back to beat Bradley in a midweek contest, then got out the brooms to sweep 23rd ranked Illinois this weekend. Grant Judkins tossed 7 innings, earning 5 strikeouts, including this one here. And Hawkeye closer Grant Leonard battled his way to his 6th save for a little cold weather magic at the Banks.
Yeah, I'm just really happy with how our guys responded to that and how we trained during the week. Our effort all 3 days was tremendous. Grant gave us a great start today and a great chance to win. The offense struggled some, didn't do a whole lot with only like 4 hits today, but Austin Martin had a big one and then took advantage of a freebie and was able to hold on, but just super happy with how our guys fought.
While the baseball team was on the right end of the sweep, the Hawkeye softball team was on the wrong end. Against Northwestern Wildcats, the Hawkeyes were blanked 3-0 and outscored 17-2 at home.
And this team, you see little improvements every single day. Offensively, they were getting the ball, making some adjustments. We just weren't able to get the key hit. We had bases loaded in that situation, just couldn't get the key hit. When we're looking at the opposite side of defensively, our outfielders look solid right now. We've been working hard to make sure that they're doing their job, and our offense just needs a little bit of work. So we go back to work on Tuesday. We leave on Wednesday to head up to northern Iowa, and then we're back on the road this weekend. So we'll clean it up a little bit on Tuesday and get back to work.
Just as Coach said, the Hawks travel to Cedar Falls this Wednesday to take on the UNI Panthers. Well, that's going to do it for me in the sports studio. But tune in tomorrow for a recap on Iowa's Elite 8 matchup against Baylor. Noah and Susanna, back to you guys at the desk.
Many Nebraskan natives are rebuilding their lives after recent devastating floods. However, many of them are missing a very important part: their pets.
That's right, Noah. Many Nebraskans are turning to social media to reunite with their furry friends.
One page in particular was started by Sabrina Burge. She shared, quote, "I don't know how many times I've broken down and cried because I can only do so much, and it seems like there's so much more that needs to be done," end quote.
Burge has passed up countless lost pets with their owners throughout her efforts.
And thank you for tuning into this Monday morning edition of DITV.
Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news.
If that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out the print edition of the news on stands now.
For DITV, I'm Susanna Kloster.
And I'm Noah Gowdy. Have a great day, Iowa City.